Boy, Edward, this war really is something, isn't it? It just never seems like it's going to end. It will end, Nick. It will end. You have to believe that. And just think of all the stories we'll have when we get back home. I guess we have had a lot of adventures, haven't we? Like that time we escaped the giant man-eating apes of Athera. Or that time we were almost sacrificed to the great fire beast of Narcoon. And don't forget about that time you and Uncle Mike abandoned me in that pit in the Silver Tower. Hey, now that was an honest mistake. We thought you were dead, and so would anyone else who saw you take a fall like that. Well, whatever you thought, I was pulling leeches out of my hair for weeks. You know, Edward, if we do make it back home...
When?
Right, I mean, when we make it back home. Do you think we ought to write down some of these adventures we've had? You know, I was just thinking that myself. The other day I was thinking to myself, you know what, Edward? With all these adventures you're having, you ought to write a book about them. You really should. You ought to write a book.
Okay, so I'm assuming he's going to end up writing this book?
What? No, it is way too early to be jumping to conclusions like that, please.
I mean, that's obviously what you're setting up here.
All I'll say is that if I were you, I'd keep on reading. You might not see every whimsical twist heading your way. Boy, that was quite the pickle we just got out of, Edward. When that giant serpent was about to eat us, I thought we were a goner for sure. I'd say we almost were. But think about it this way, Nick. That will make a great story for the book I'm working on. You're really serious about writing that thing, aren't you? Sure am. And you know what? When I write the book, I'm thinking I'll publish it under a pseudonym and make up a whole fake identity for myself so anyone who picks up the book unsuspectingly will just think it's a work of fiction unless they're very, very observant. That does seem like the kind of thing you'd do, Edward. In fact, I'm thinking I'll even turn the book into a series of books for young readers between the ages of 12 and 17, and it will be published by Penguin Random House LLC.
Why are you doing this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What does this add to the story? Are you trying to get kids who read this book to think that the Lands of the Whirlpool is a real place that actually exists?
All I'll say is that things are not always how they appear.
Sometimes they are, though.
After we defeated the dark forces of Narcoon and restored order to the sunken lands, we all went our separate ways. Uncle Mike went back to running his old Miami tackle shop. I got an internship researching volcanology in Hawaii. And as for Edward, well, he really did go on to write that book of his.
Here we go.
It won multiple literary prizes and was an instant New York Times bestseller.
That seems unnecessary to mention.
Many people the world over have read his book. In fact, you've probably heard of it yourself, even if you didn't know it. Because you see, you've just finished reading it right now.
Boom.
There was no way you saw that coming.
I saw it coming the whole time.
Well, I'll admit there were hints here and there,
It doesn't even make any sense either. Like, if you're supposed to be Edward, how did you write all of those passages from the perspectives of other characters?
I interviewed them.
Even the Dark Lord Barthelmess who dies at the end of the book?
Well, I took a few creative liberties.
You have like a dozen chapters from his perspective.
Look, this isn't really the sort of thing you're supposed to think very hard about, okay? It's just a nice wink to the audience. Helps the story feel a little more authentic.
Okay, fine. Maybe it would work if you weren't so obnoxiously coy about it.
All I'll say is that J.R.R. Tolkien did it, so it's basically a staple of the genre, but hey, if you'd rather, we can agree to disagree. Either way, I'm glad we've had this discussion today. I feel like I have learned a lot from talking to you.
Just get out of my house. I don't even know how you keep getting in
In
here.
fact, this conversation has been so inspiring that maybe someday I'll make a comedy skit about it.
No.
And then film the skit in a way where it looks like I'm playing both characters.
They don't want this. Guys, I'm sorry.
And then upload it onto youtube.com.
Get out of my house.
And it will instantly become a viral hit, right guys?
Just leave.
Right?
Leave.
If everyone watching this remembers to like the video and subscribe, I'm sure it will be a viral hit.
I mean, he is right about that last part.